Hello, everyone. Welcome to this monthly webinar session of Technology-Enabled Learning Community of Practice. I'm Sanjay Mishra, Education Specialist at Commonwealth of Learning. Today, my co-host is Professor Mustafa Kamal Azad from Bangladesh, and our esteemed guest speaker is Professor Badrul Khan. Welcome both of you. On behalf of Commonwealth of Learning and the community of practice of technology-enabled learning, I welcome each one of you to this webinar session. I am sure the today's topic is of very interest of most of you. This is about micro-learning, and we are all looking forward to the presentation from Professor Khan. But meanwhile, I will request Professor Mustafa to give a small introduction to the session and introduce the guest briefly. Professor Mustafa, over to you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sanjay, for this very brief and nice introduction. Dear friends and colleagues, this is Professor Mustafa from Bangladesh Open University. I am the coordinator of Telco webinar series. You know, this Telco webinar series is a part of Commonwealth of Learning's technology-enabled learning initiatives, which is led by Dr. Sanjay Mishra. The focus of this webinar series is the continuing professional development of the academics, researchers, developers involved in technology-enabled learning, OER, and open and distance learning. We are happy that today we got a very distinguished guest, Dr. Badrul Huda Khan. You know that Dr. Badrul Huda Khan, he is a well-known, worldwide known speaker, author, and a consultant in the field of e-learning and educational technology. Professor Khan has the credit of first coining the phrase web-based instruction, and he popularized this concept through his 1997 best-selling book titled Web-Based Instruction. In his career, he received a lot of international and national awards, both in USA and abroad. Dr. Khan, he is the founder of McWeadon Education USA. He is also the founder of GAN Bahon, which is called Knowledge Career. The Knowledge Career, a practical application of competency-based lifelong learning, lifelong e-learning especially. So he's promoting this concept in rural Bangladesh and in other countries in this region. So if you'd like to know more about Dr. Khan, you can go to his website, badrulkhan.com, to learn his achievements and engagements. So with these few words, I would like to turn this session on to Dr. Khan.
First of all, let me thank Commonwealth of Learning for organizing this webinar. And I especially like to thank Dr. Sanjay Mishra and Professor Azad for organizing this webinar. And we are in a very difficult times in our life. But globally, worldwide, this coronavirus pandemic kept our children locked down at home. Schools and colleges, their physical classrooms are closed. And I feel sorry for the whole world. It's like it stopped all in a sudden with this dangerous virus. So I hope and pray that you all should stay safe and stay healthy. And I know I probably have participants from different parts of the world. So I would say greetings instead of saying good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. I would say greetings to all of you, those of you who are joining us here. So let me tell you, I have been in the field of e-learning, since 1995. And I have the credit of first, there is a book in here. Yeah, all my books are here. I don't know if you can see it. So one of the books is right there, is called Web-Based Instruction. So I'm in my home right now. So like all of you, we are home. So many of you are doing online education. This is good. But recently, Dr. Ramesh Sharma from India, he posted a note on the Facebook. He was a little bit upset that some people are duplicating face-to-face classes into online. So he said, stop it. Stop it. And I would say the same thing. We need to stop just converting face-to-face class materials for the online learning. For online learning, the learners are not with you. They're somewhere else. You don't see them, but you have to learn how to connect with them. So their learning can be uninterrupted and meaningful. For that particular reason, I have this stop. I have a model or framework called stop sign framework, means stop and think. What would be a learner taking a course completely online? What are the important issues that we need to pay attention to so that they can learn meaningfully? With that in mind, today's topic will be with this framework. It's known as Khan's e-learning framework. So stop and think so we can create meaningful learning. So having said that, I will describe microlearning in a video. Then we'll talk about the framework. And then this is the agenda that I have for today. First one is we're going to talk about what is microlearning, and then we'll have a framework for microlearning, and then a course on microlearning that I am working on, that some of you will be interested to take it. And this course will be, taught and designed by several scholars in microlearning. So having said that, now let me introduce microlearning to you with a video. Greetings to everyone. My name is Badrul Khan. Today, we're going to talk about microlearning. Microlearning in the digital age. What is microlearning? Microlearning can be viewed as a single objective focused, outcome-based, stand-alone, meaningful and interactive learning unit, delivered in bite-sized snippets, that is in a short modular format, either digitally, such as by a computer, tablet, mobile phone, or wearables, or non-digitally, such as via flashcard or booklets. So this is single objective focused learning unit, which are known as microlearning. However, designing and delivering microlearning requires thoughtful analysis and investigation of how to use the learning media's potential in concert with instructional design principles. So let me go back to that. So the microlearning is basically single objective focused learning. So you may question, is microlearning a part of e-learning? Yes. So think about umbrella. Umbrella, what is the goal of the umbrella? The goal of the umbrella is to protect you from rain or sunshine or sun. So each spoke of the umbrella, you can think about as objectives. So the goal of the umbrella is to protect you from rain, but learning, the learning objectives are within the goal. So if you have one goal, you have several learning objectives. In umbrella, you have the goal of umbrella is to protect you from rain, and that each spoke of the umbrella are the learning objectives. So each objective of that umbrella could be a microlearning. For example, in my microlearning course, what is the goal of my microlearning course that I'm going to offer? Is to how to design a microlearning course. So first spoke of that course, first objective would be define microlearning, then components of microlearning, then activities of the microlearning, and then go on a design principle of microlearning. So you need to have a very clear views of what is the goal of your course, and then identify all required objectives for that course. I lived in Chicago, very windy city. My umbrella, it was not strong, then I would get wet, and also, the umbrella will go away because windy. So each spoke of the umbrella must be well tight and strength, and they're tightened together so that you can hold the umbrella so it can protect you from rain. So for your course, you have to do the homework of identifying within the goal of this course. Goal is a bigger thing. Learning objectives are within the goal. So one objective can have multiple learning objectives. So then you have to identify which learning objectives are prerequisite to other one. You cannot do division if you don't know how to do subtraction or addition. So you need to identify learning objectives and in chronological order. For each learning objectives, you can create a micro-learning unit. Now, with the coronavirus, we are all hurrying to create our courses. But if you have thought about the learning course as a smaller snippet, means simple, simple, simple. Meaning that if you have identified right objectives for your course, and then start creating learning snippet, a smaller learning unit for that particular objective. Maybe a PowerPoint presentation on an objective, maybe some authoring tool for something. So what you need to do once you think about umbrella of your course, and each spoke of the umbrella is their objectives, and start working on those in a micro-learning unit, single objective focused micro-learning unit, then maybe someday you'll have a complete course done. And the snippets. Why micro-learning is so important? Because our children, even the students, people don't have time. their attention. You need to get their attention. So if you have a one micro learning unit with objectives, some interactivity and assessment, then within few minutes, 3 to 5 minutes in a video snippet, good enough. So more the micro learning unit we have, then we can all sequentially put them together. There is a course. So micro learning is nothing new. It's just thinking that you have identified appropriate objectives for your course. More you can identify all the required objectives for your course, then your umbrella, your goal will be strong. If you miss, or if one of the objectives is weak, then your goal will be suffering. I hope I make a good point on that. Let me tell you something. Now, remember I said I'm going to talk about a microlearning framework. I think on the advertisement of the webinar, there was a framework there. Okay. So now that you have decided you're going to do microlearning, is it a part of e-learning? Yes, it is a part of e-learning. However, you're making the bigger e-learning course into a smaller, meaningful unit. Each unit should be self-contained and be meaningful for that particular objective. It is objective focused, single objective focused learning unit. So more you can create, I mean, you will create whatever you need, but you may not have created, maybe you have 20 objectives, you created for 10 objectives micro unit. The rest of them could be a blended micro learning. Micro learning could be informational or instructional. I created, for a coronavirus, I created a video that was an awareness video. So it is an informational micro learning unit. I created what is e-learning, a video, and I teach them what is e-learning. So that is instructional. So one micro learning could be informational, which you can use informational principles, message design principle to create this information. But we are into the business of learning. We use instructional design principles, learning principles to create a instructional unit. So my focus more into learning. Having said that, I want to introduce you to a framework. It's called Khan's e-learning framework. And some of you probably know, I don't know who are there today, but some of you probably know about this framework. So let me show you. I don't know if you can see. There are books that been, these are the books. That's one of my latest book is this one. Is on data analytics based on the framework. So I'm working on a brand new book on microlearning. So for the design of microlearning, you need to have put the learner at the center and then start creating a learning environment by focusing on, first of all, is called pedagogical. Pedagogical deals with learning and teaching issues, instructional design, content design, context awareness, audience analysis, all needs analysis, task analysis. These are all under pedagogy. In some field, there are another field is called andragogy, which is for elder learning. So when I say pedagogy, I mean both andragogy and pedagogy. Then you have technological. So technological, that when you're creating microlearning or e-learning, you need to know what is the infrastructure, how you access to the learning materials, what are the hardware needed, what are the software needed, any technological issue you have to focus on. Then you have interface design. Interface design is something, the look and feel of the computer screen or the cell phone or the smartphone screen, because how do you interact? Because students don't see you, they see the computer screen. So how they interact? For example, I grew up in Bangladesh, thumbs up sign used to be like green banana. I don't know what it meant. Okay, I was playing cricket, somebody bowled me out. So kids will laugh at me and they said like this. But that's what used to be, that, more like a derogatory. But in the Western world, it means you did good. So it's a cross-cultural thing that one has to think about in interface design, what kind of sign and symbol you're using. Then comes to evaluation. Evaluation deals with assessment of learners and evaluation of instructor and all other people who are involved in creating these online courses. That means learning environment. Then the issues have management. Management issues, when you're teaching face-to-face classes, we come to the classroom with our notebook and we have a smart board or board, we start writing on it. So our management is like carrying our notebooks, but online education, for example, you may use my homepage link and students will go there to read an article, but I'm not maintaining it anymore. So they get the dead links. So that's not good. They would not like to see that. So management of online materials is so important. You have to update it, unlike in the classroom. Then comes the resource support. You see, resource support, that includes technical support, counseling support, administrative support, registration support, all these things. If you do not have a technical support 24/7, your learning management system sometimes may not be accessible. So who they're going to call? The students who are in the remote side, they don't know that who is doing what. All they wanted to know, they send an email, they get a reply. Same thing, you need to have technical support 24/7, means 24 hours, 7 days a week. That is, you need to think about it in the research support. Ethical issue. Ethical is so important. Ethical consideration, you have geographical diversity, meaning that I am in the United States, we have 6 time zones. If I'm teaching a course here in Washington, DC, 8 in the morning, it will be about 4 in the morning in Hawaii. So I should not do the synchronized chat discussion on that, because geographical diversity, that's an ethical consideration. Then legal issues. Then you have a copyright issues, intellectual property. These are all ethical consideration. So when you're teaching these courses, you need to train your students, your learners, how to behave on discussion forum. So these are all legal issues, also ethical consideration involved in that. Then you see something called institutional. That deals with academic, administrative, student services, meaning that students who are taking online courses, they should get all same kind of support services that one would get in the face-to-face brick and mortar universities, because they are paying and they expect that. So what I try to do, how do I get this framework done? When I was a professor at the University of Texas, I believe in 96, I was thinking that from 95 to 96, I'm thinking, what does it take to create meaningful e-learning or online education? We used to say web-based instruction those days. What does it take? Then I started thinking, if I send one of my students to Amazon forest, he has no, he's nowhere close to a library. How do you teach him? Then I started thinking about different issues. He probably would ask the question, how this course is designed. Is it same as classroom? He probably asks question, who I call if I have technical needs. How about I want to register for the course? Can I do it? So if you send one of your students some remote area and think about creating a meaningful online course for that person, then this will come and play. So you put the learner at the center. You keep, did I do pedagogically service? Did I do technological? Did I do ethical issues, resource support, evaluation, management for the student? Is all about taking care of your student. Your student is the center of learning. So it is learning focused education system, e-learning. So when I say microlearning, e-learning, microlearning is within the framework of e-learning. When you're creating a small snippet of microlearning, you should follow that. One drop of water in a sea would be part of the whole sea. So if you want to create one microlearning meaningfully, it will add to the course as a learning lesson meaningfully. So same thing you do for other stakeholder groups. First stakeholder group is students, the learners. Second is the instructors. You put the instructor at the center and ask the question, pedagogical in all different ways. See what if the course is meaningful to the professor or the instructor. And also put the technical support at the center of the model and ask the same question. Is it meaningful to him? And also the institution. So you may ask the question, who are the stakeholders? Well, the stakeholders are whoever have a stake in this e-learning. For example, students, teacher, technical support, community, parents, and the institution. What would make a student happy? Well, students would like to see that all the learning materials are easily accessible, they are engaging, they can learn without interruption, there is no technical difficulty, they are going to be happy. What would make e-learning meaningful to the teachers or the instructor or professors? Because everyone wants their course is good, students can complete it. If students can complete the course, low dropout, high retention, they are happy. How about the technical support? What would make a technical support staff who is a part of a stakeholder group be happy? Well, they would love to see the LMS working fine. The students can have access to the materials. They can turn in their homework, their assignment, and technical support not getting enough complaint. They're gonna happy for that. Now, another biggest stakeholder group is the institution, school, college, university. What will make them happy? Well, institution is there to do the business. So they want to see greater return on investment. You have students join the online education, they stayed, they did not drop out. Higher retention rate will make them happy. So I am almost end to my presentation.
Thank you, Professor Mustafa, for taking note of the webinar chart and facilitating this session as a co-host. And I think we'll be failing in our duty if we do not express our deep sense of gratitude to Professor Badrul Khan. It's already 11 p.m. at night for him. And thank you, Professor Khan, for the excellent presentation. The way you explain basic concepts, it makes things much clearer for every one of us. I'm sure participants have benefited through this presentation, and we really could ask you several of the questions that came on. Our apologies that if we have missed some of the questions and have not taken some of the questions that came out because of time paucity, but nevertheless, a big thanks from my side on behalf of the Commonwealth of Learning and from the speaker and the co-host to all of you who have taken your time to join this session. I just want to say that I could note people from Sri Lanka, India, Kiribati, USA, Mauritius, Guyana, Fiji, and Malaysia and this today's session. So thank you, each one of you, for joining us in today's session.